Barack Obama and speech gaffes. We know that George W. Bush was known for saying a lot of weird stuff, right? I mean, we know that the Bushisms and the so on and so forth. This may be the first Barack Obama one. He used the term, instead of corpsman, when referring to a member of the military, he used the term corpsman. And I'll play it once for you. He actually used it 3 times in the speech. There's no such word as a corpsman. And if there were, it doesn't sound like something Barack Obama wants to be mentioning, right? Take a listen.
One such translator was American of Haitian descent, representative of the extraordinary work that our men and women in uniform do, Navy corpsman Christian Bouchard. And lying on a gurney aboard the USNS Comfort, a woman asked Christopher, "Where do you come from?"
Okay, so he goes on and he says it a few more times. Still nothing compared to Bush, right?
New technologies enables to be able to drill like we've never been able to do so before.
I think Bush, so far, we don't have to. I don't think there's that much of a risk of Barack Obama becoming George W. Bush in terms of speech gaffes.
No, I think of any politician in recent history, George Bush, clearly tops the charts.
He takes the cake as far as that goes. The Tea Party conference. There was a conference put together. Remember the Tea Party, the tea baggers, so on and so forth. Somebody put together a conference, and there was actually some kickback about this. People said, the Tea Party itself means that no one person can take the reins of the party and plan a conference. So some people were actually upset. They had this conference. They met in, I believe it was Nashville, Tennessee. I think that the Tea Party might actually help Democrats more than Republicans, because if we think about who's most likely to vote for a so-called Tea Party candidate, if there was one, instead of a Democrat or Republican, it's Republicans, right? The Republicans are the ones who would shift over to the Tea Party, not Democrats. And you can actually, if you go on midweekpolitics.com, we have a new poll up right now. Who will the Tea Party help? What will happen with the Tea Party, if anything? And I think that if the Tea Party continues to grow, it's going to be Republicans that take the hit, much the way that the Green Party and Ralph Nader hurt the Democrats in the year 2000.
Right, I assume so.
Sarah Palin was the funniest part of this. I know that if you haven't already seen the evidence on TV, you're not going to believe this. She had notes. She had crib notes written on her hand. At one point during her speech from the podium, she holds her hand up like this, and you can actually see the notes written on her hand, and they just say, what do the notes say? They say tax cuts, lift American spirits, and energy. And she actually referred to the notes during a Q&A. These are basic talking points. If you don't remember these, you're in trouble. And I can't imagine you could be the president without even remembering these 3 talking points. Take a listen.
A conservative House and a conservative Senate. As soon as that happens, what do you think are the top 3 things that have got to be done?
We've got to rein in the spending, obviously, and not raise these extremely high budgets and then say, okay, we're going to freeze a couple programs here. That doesn't do us any good, really. We've got to start reining in the spending. We have got to jumpstart these energy projects that, again, we've heard so much about, because it's ridiculous that we have just sitting warehoused under God's green earth here.
Okay, so as she says that, and I know on the radio, you can't tell what she's doing. She looks down at her hand.
Very clearly looks at her hand.
And and you can tell she prepares by kind of sitting up straighter and getting her hand in position, and then just kind of looks down and checks out her notes. She can't remember 3 talking points: tax cuts, energy, lift American spirits. This is not complicated stuff. How could this woman, not to mention everything else related to Sarah Palin that would disqualify her as a possible competent candidate for president, be president if she can't even remember these 3 little talking points?
Right. I don't think you'll even get through the primaries if, you're looking at your hand during those debates,
It's bizarre. She's done everything. She couldn't name a single newspaper she reads. She couldn't name a Supreme Court case that has influenced her. She quit being the governor. She lost a presidential campaign. She called Joe Biden Senator O'Biden. Now she has snuck in notes to a teabagger speech. Incredible. Also related to this Tea Party is Tom Tancredo. He went up there and said, you know what? We've got a committed socialist in the White House. Tom Tancredo, known for really not liking immigrants to the U.S., known as an anti-immigrant guy. Take a listen to what he said at the Tea Party conference.
And then something really odd happened. mostly because I think we do not have a civics literacy test before people can vote in this country. People who could not even spell the word vote or say it in English put a committed socialist ideologue in the White House.
Okay. No surprise from Tom Tancredo.
There's a man who loves to hear himself talk.
Yeah. That's clear. That's clear. And also rock star Ted Nugent, who, by the way, I cannot stand, in an interview with Royal Flush magazine said, I think that Barack Hussein Obama should be put in jail. It's clear that Barack Hussein Obama is a communist. Mao lives, and his name is Barack Hussein Obama. This country should be ashamed. I want to throw up. From Ted Nugent. Interesting guy to hear. We'll take a break. After this, we'll talk to Irvin Staub about security, about terrorism, and much more. You're listening to Midweek Politics.
This is Midweek Politics with Dave Pakman.
This episode of Midweek Politics has been made possible in part by Just Coffee Cooperative, fair trade coffee from around the world roasted daily at justcoffee.coop.